There we go. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Just getting my stream set up here. Let's see. Get my camera. This camera should be turning on. Okay. What is this? Oh. There we go. Okay. We should get an image here now. Let's see. How's everybody doing? Okay, I see it. Okay, there we go. Cool. All right, so we got image. Looks a bit dark. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I can increase the brightness there a little bit. There we go. Sweet. How's everybody doing? All right, yeah. Let's see, we got, oh, audio is very low. So actually I have it turned all the way up. Is it good now? Or are you talking about the music? I turned the music down a little bit. I can turn that up slightly. Okay, we got folks from Canada. How's everybody doing? Tampa, Florida. All right. Norway, Oslo, Norway. Nope, haven't missed anything. Still just getting started. Let's see here. But yeah, so let me put that right there. But all right. Cool. How long do the mods usually take between ordering parts, the assembly process, and the finishing touches? It takes a long time. A lot of the videos are planned, you know, like a month in advance. And I mean, some videos are much easier to prepare for than others. And some, you know, take a year. You know, the Xbox video I did, that was a little over a year in the making. Okay, let me see here. So it's gonna give it maybe another minute, let people, you know, trickle in. But let's see. And okay. Oh, hey, we got Spain, Morocco, Sweden, Stockholm, the UK. All right, got folks from all over. This is fantastic. What does Tito do for real work? Well, I used to do cost analysis. Actually, just recently, you know, past few months, just actually recently I'm doing YouTube full time now. So, but for pretty much the entire duration of the channel, I was also doing cost analysis work. So, yep. All right, UK, New Zealand. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Aotearoa, New Zealand. Very cool. Yeah, this is I actually did a video on this. This is the Super DMG board from J&T Studio, I believe is the company. They work with Retro, it seems at least to me, they work with Retro Game Restore. They make those really cool clear shells. But yeah, no, this is a really cool mod. Basically, the idea of this mod is to put a Super Game Boy CPU from, you know, the Super Game Boy cartridge that you put into a Super Nintendo, and you can play your Game Boy games on the Super Nintendo. You're supposed to put that CPU in here, or the CPU rather. And what it does is it sort of bypasses that Nintendo logo screen, and it like loads the game basically immediately. So you don't have to see like that little scrolling Nintendo logo. But it's a cool mod. The interesting thing I'm going to be doing with this is I'm not going to be putting a Super Game Boy CPU in here. I'm just going to put a regular Game Boy DMG CPU. And I'll explain why I'm going to be doing that here in a second. But yeah, I think we have enough people in. Yeah, I see the YouTube is very active. I'm also on Twitch, and I see we got a few people in Twitch, which is great. But yeah, no, guys, thanks for joining in. I'm doing these streams 1 week out of the month. So you know, that 12 times a year, but basically I try to do 2 to 3 streams in that week. So I'm going to be streaming today, and I'm only doing it twice this week because I'm actually doing a lot of recording for other videos that I'm going to be editing while I'm in Japan. I'll be going to Japan, but I'm trying to get a bunch of videos done before that trip. But yeah, so I'm going to be streaming today, obviously, and then Thursday of this week. And actually, I don't know if anybody noticed here, but this stream is actually being sponsored by the Computer Museum. You can see their logo over there. So they're kind enough to sponsor the streams. They're actually a local computer museum to me. I live in Virginia here in the United States. They're actually in Maryland, not too far away, near Baltimore, Maryland. And it's a fantastic museum. I actually didn't really know for the longest time, just up until last year, that they existed. But they're a pretty fantastic museum. They're pretty big and tons of computer stuff. They just relatively recently opened a video game exhibit. So they got a bunch of video game consoles, some nice rare ones and some common ones. And I'm hoping to work with them in the future to maybe restore some of these consoles for them to exhibit. But yeah, so they're sponsors. I have a link to them if you want to check them out. If you're local or plan to be in like the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area, definitely pay them a visit. Very cool museum. You know, huge thank you to them for sponsoring the streams here. But okay, so let's get started. What we're going to be doing here is I have a donor. Let's see here. Let's switch the view. All right. Where is my... Okay, over there we go. All right, so we got a few things here. So this is the Game Boy I recently modded with the ODD, the Open DMG Display mod. I actually had to use a motherboard from one of my kind of collectible DMGs, which, you know, I'm keeping those stock. And that was never meant for this, but it was the only Game Boy that I had spare. So I'm using that CPU. But what I wanted to do, I just wasn't sure if it would work. And I didn't want to waste too much time when I was producing that video. I wanted to put, so this is a kind of a damaged DMG. It's not really damaged. It obviously looks to be in pretty good condition, but the power board is cracked. And I got this in a lot of Game Boy parts. But basically, I'm going to extract this CPU and put it onto this board. And this board we have, obviously, it's a brand new motherboard. It's the Super DMG board. And that'll come with a brand new power board as well as a new audio board. We're going to be putting all that together. And, but yeah, so essentially, I want to put this into this DMG so that I can put the motherboard that's currently in here back into my sort of collectible, which I don't know, I think it's in the other room. It's a all black, play it loud version of the DMG. It's like complete in box. It's really, really cool. So I'm gonna put that motherboard back into that DMG, and then we're gonna swap this one in. I would have just used this one to begin with, but of course it had that broken power board, and I wasn't exactly 100% sure if this new power board from Retro Game Restore would have easily swapped in to this. So I didn't want to risk it, so I just pulled the motherboard for that video. I'm going to be putting it back, so. But yeah, let's see here. Let me try to catch up with the chat. Yeah. Oh, yeah, actually, I might be loaning them the prototype. It would be pretty cool. So, oh, hey, we got Ariel. Oh, Ariel, let me make sure. Let me set you up with. Oh no, you're already set up as moderator. Okay, good, good, good. Yeah, so we got Ariel here. He's in the chat. He makes these cool T-shirts for the channel. So if you want to pick these up, I also have those linked down below. Or you can just ask Ariel in the chat about them. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna extract the CPU from this donor board. And oh, actually, you know, so we're gonna do a couple things. We're gonna extract this, the link port, which let's see, it's not focusing. The link port connector because obviously that's missing from our new board. And then I guess that fits too, but also this AC adapter port here, we're gonna put that in there as well. So those are really the only parts. It comes with its own brand new, actually I'm not sure if this actually might be also pulled from but it's already installed. So, oh, and that was another thing that was broken here. So one of the battery tabs, or contacts rather, was broken from this CPU. So yeah, basically pulling 3 parts. The CPU is the main one. That's going to be the most challenging. And then we got the link port and then the power port, which we're going to transfer. But that's all it really takes to do this mod. And if you want, I should have linked the video for this, but if you want to watch that video where I actually pulled the CPU from a Super Game Boy, it's on my channel. You can search the channel for it. I forgot to link it in the description. But yeah, so, okay. Yeah, trying to focus on, let's see here. So, Tito and chat, huge fan. Oh, all right. Welcome to the stream, Silver the Shiny Eevee. That's on Twitch. And let's see, I'm hoping I can get a USB Type-C charger port so I can both replace a broken port and upgrade to Type-C so at the same time, as I understand. Oh, okay, so I guess you're talking about the PS4 controller. I haven't done that mod, but yeah, let's see here. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead, get started. I'm gonna put this to the side for now. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus. I'm gonna put all these other parts. Oh, it comes with these cables. I forgot to link, crap. I'll make sure to link to the store. Actually, and Ariel might be able to find, it's J&T Studio. And I'll definitely, when the stream ends, I'll be sure to link the store if you do want to pick up this mod. It's a really cool mod. Actually, if you click on the video for this, which you know I did probably a little over a year ago, I had the links for all the parts if you do want to check it out. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull all the components. I think I might start with the what should I do first? You know what? Let's get the connectors out first. All right, so the way I'm going to do that is these are my PCB stands. They're very heavy, and basically they can secure the board for me while I heat it up. Let me see here. Actually, let me put this upside down. And the first thing I'm gonna do, and let me see if I can do this in a way where you can see it from this angle, because this will be an easier way to see it for you guys. So I'm gonna put this here. And I'm gonna put this in this corner. Not a lot of meat to grab onto, but let me just get this, and then I can swivel it over, and then you guys can get a better view of this. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this link port first, and let's see. Let me see if I can get that's about as good a grip as I'm gonna get on it, which is fine. All right, so I'm gonna use my desoldering gun for this. There we go. And I'm gonna get some tweezers, and basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically desolder all these pins. And you know, if you can't remove all the solder, sometimes these stick to the through holes. And we could either use some hot air to heat them up, and then while we're kind of putting some downward pressure on this, and then pull it out that way. I'm gonna try and do that. That should work. And let me I have my fume extractor here, which is off camera, but safety first. Let's turn that on. All right, fume extractor is on. Okay. All right, so we got the desoldering gun, and sometimes we do also need to add like a little bit of fresh solder to these, but I know this is actually working pretty well. It's actually working really well. Okay, and let me just increase the ISO here because it is a little bit dark. There we go. Let me make that a little bit brighter for y'all. Okay. Now these ground pins these are a little bit thicker and a little bit harder. So sometimes you might just get in from the side and suck as much solder as you can from the sides. Okay. All right, so that worked out pretty well. And let's see here, these pins, and basically I'm going to check to see if these pins are free, and they're actually, oh yeah, they're not sticking at all. So these are all free. So now these side parts here are the tricky parts. So I'm going to go ahead and heat up my iron. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to move my fume extractor here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up one side as I'm sort of pulling down with my tweezers here to try and pull each side by side. You could also maybe use some solder wick. I might need to do that, but let's see if we can heat this up. Also, it doesn't help that I don't have the best grip. Let's see here. Sometimes you can kind of wedge it a little bit. Let's see here. Yeah, this might be a little bit challenging. Let me see, because yeah, these are a little bit bent, so they're kind of almost, oh, there we go. Oh, you can actually see it move right there. Yeah. Yeah, part of the issue is I don't have a good grip on the board, so let's see if we can reposition my helpers here. Yeah, actually that might be a lot better. And maybe put this here. Yeah, that's actually going to be way better. So I can, yeah, oh yeah. Okay, here we go. So that's going to be much better. Okay, so I'm going to get a good grip on that. And I'm going to heat this back up. And let's see here. Ooh. So let me try this side a little bit. A little bit challenging. So sometimes what I might do also, add a little bit of solder, which basically, it may seem counterintuitive, but if you add a little bit of solder, that helps actually spread the heat more evenly around the via, because it surrounds everything. But let's see here. All right, that's coming out. It's a little bit of plastic there. Let's see. Maybe add a little bit to this side as well. Okay, there we go. We got one side. This side should be a little bit easier now to come out. There we go. All right, so we got our connector. Bit challenging, and hey, we got it out in one piece. It looks, let me move this out of the way. Looks very good. All right, so that's one piece we can put to the side. And then the next one is this power port here. So there's a few, let me see here. It looks like it's just 4 pins, I think. 1, 2, yeah, 4 pins, I think. And again with that, my desoldering gun might not reach around these pins because they could be, yeah, especially this back one here, it looks pretty thick. And actually all of them, maybe just that one in the middle is the only one. So this could be a little bit more difficult to take out, but I'm just waiting for my desoldering gun to heat up. The red light is, the element is heating. Okay, so it's reached the temperature once the light turns off. Okay, we got that one. Actually, you know what? Oh yeah, so actually it does go all the way around. It's pretty good. Cool, all right. That was easy. All right. Fantastic. All right, so these pins, this one feels like it's free. This one back here is still attached. This one also is attached. Yeah, but that one's free, and that one does also feel free as well. So let's try and take this out. Let me see here. Oh wow. Actually, yeah, they were all out. That was easy. Beautiful. All right, so we got the connector. That was simple. And now the last one, okay, actually, yeah, this was a really damaged board. Yeah, I was wondering why I didn't use this, but yeah, the actual LCD connectors, whoever had this before, completely tore it off. So now, let's get the CPU. And this is gonna be slightly challenging. Let me move this over. So now you can kind of, I can zoom it out a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. All right, so, you know, since this is a donor board, I really don't care about the condition of it. I'm gonna move these a little out of the way. Usually I would kind of use some Kapton tape to protect the elements around. I'm not too worried about this, so I'm just gonna go straight for it. Now there's a lot of ways you could do this. I'm gonna use hot air. Another thing you could do is use something called, use a low melt solder called Chip Quick, which I've used before to remove these sort of surface mounted packaged CPUs, or chips rather. And what I might do is I might reflow a little bit of the solder around it to make it a little bit easier to remove. So I'm just gonna basically just kind of tin the tip of my iron here. Just going to put a little bit of no clean flux on the pins and just, you know, kind of lightly brush it. And this is gonna reflow the old solder. You can see it might make the pins a little bit shinier. That's the flux, which is an acid basically just cleaning the oxidation. Right. Okay. All right. Cool. All right, so that's pretty good. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, Franchise 998 is asking, no, actually I didn't go to a trade school for this. This is just stuff I've learned in my free time. You know, like I said, when I had my full-time job, I was a cost analyst. I was an econ major when I went to college. So no formal training in electronics or anything. Just YouTube. YouTube is a great learning tool. I learned pretty much everything on YouTube. And you know, and then obviously practicing myself. But yeah, so if I can do it, certainly anybody watching with practice and everything, and maybe watching a few videos online, can certainly do this as well. But yeah. Oh, hey, and yeah, me too. No, you're hating 1988 is saying that he's looking forward to Kaitor's Retro Tap. As soon as I can get my hands on one, I will be taking a look at that. It looks like it's one of the kind of, it's not really a mod, it's like a retro gaming product. It's one of the things I'm looking forward to immensely. Basically, it allows you to hook up, like, I think it's up to 9, I might be undershooting it, but it's like up to at least 9 consoles and power them from a single box, which is super convenient. Like if you have like a setup, like, you know, I have my retro cart over here, which has like a few, actually right now only has one console, but I had like up to like 5 consoles on it. But you can power them through a single device. It's super clean. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen something like that, but definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a super awesome product. So yeah, definitely make sure you're subscribed, because as soon as he sends me, Kaitor is going to send me one as soon as he gets his production run through, and I will be taking a really close look at it. So yeah, no, YouTube is like free school. I mean, anything you could learn in college, you could learn on YouTube, guaranteed. All right, let's see here. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and, we also got some chat here in Twitch. Yep, similar background, yeah, soldering. It's a great, I mean, honestly, and you know, while I use it mostly for modding, soldering, I've used it for other stuff, so it's a really good skill to have. Like, I've done a bunch of repairs on my car with soldering. Things, you know, you would normally need to buy like a new part, but you can actually fix the existing part. You know, soldering can help with that. So, but yeah, cool stuff. Cool stuff. All right, so I am going to remove this CPU. I'm going to use hot air, so I got to turn my hot air station on, which I have off camera, and I also need to change the temperature. Usually I do hot air at around 400 degrees Celsius. So let me increase that. And I have a flow rate, like I mean, again, it always depends on the application, but I have a flow rate that's pretty high. So, I mean, it's like maybe middle flow rate. I have like an analog, it's an older Hacko hot air station, so there's no like digital flow rate number. It's a little dial. But yeah, let's go ahead and, actually before, let me put this down. Before I do that, I'm going to take, this is a kind of a higher grade flux, so I have 2 types of flux that I use. I have this no clean stuff. It's a Kester 959T, which I use for most soldering. It works really well. I have this linked in my Amazon store if you want to use this no clean flux, which I use a lot of. But then, you know, when I remove surface mounted components like this, where I need to do really fine soldering, generally I will use also this. It's a lot more viscous. It comes in a syringe. It's a Amtech VS213 ATF. I don't know if I have this linked. I'm not sure if you can get this on Amazon. But it's a tacky flux, but it becomes very liquid, obviously, once it heats up. So what I do is I just very lightly apply these to the pins. All right, like so. So, and you can see that it is viscous and it kind of keeps its form. And then I have this. This is super useful. This is my Hacko 394, and this is like a little pickup. It has like a little suction cup right there at the tip. I don't know if you could see it. And basically, as I'm heating, I can pull that chip right off. It'll create a little suction, and boop, I can pull the chip right off. I'll show you exactly how this works. It's really useful. So that way, because sometimes using tweezers can be a bit finicky. It's like hard to grab. You can like have to like pull it on like from the edge or something. Tweezers work fine. I've used it for years, but this is kind of like a game-changing little device here, so I love it. Hey, Tech Pro Gabe, thank you for the $5 super chat. You rock, Tito. Hey, you rock too, and everybody watching, you all rock. All right, so let's remove this. I'm gonna turn on my hot air. Wait for it to get up to temp. And I have my fume extractor on, guys, because this flux generates quite a bit of fumes, and you don't want to breathe any of that. So, all right, and we are almost up to temp. 380, 390, 400. Okay, so now you'll see this flux kind of just melt away. And I'm just going to heat up all these pins. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Here, I think. Nope. Nope, not ready yet. Not ready yet. There we go. See how I just picked it up like that? Perfect. It's suction, and then you'll see if I drop it, I'm going to drop it actually, I'll drop it. I just release the button and it drops right there. And here, so I have this little button here and I just go boop, and I pick it up and it doesn't come off. Works fantastic. All right. Hey, the grimmest king, still enjoying the solder station you sent me, Nacho. Been a fan since day one. Awesome. Oh, that's right. I think I ran. Let me see. That was my original. Oh, I sold it on eBay. I think I sold it on eBay. Or no, I did a giveaway. Is it the? I also did I had a sponsorship from Hacko. Probably a couple years ago, and they gave me a bunch of stations, and I ran a giveaway, and I gave some away. But I did also sell my old station. I forget the model, but I got this FX972, which is amazing. The other one was great too. But this one allows me to use my solder tweezers, which is useful for kind of like those surface-mounted capacitors or resistors and removing them. But hey, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's see. Could you please give me the model number? Oh yeah. So it should be on. If you go to my Amazon store, which I have linked down below, it should be there. But it's the Hacko 394. Very useful tool. Love watching your videos, Tito. I really learned a bunch. Hey, thank you so much. No, I'm glad. That's the point of the videos, is to help people get comfortable with modding and maybe learn a little bit about the mods and what's available out there. But yeah. Okay. All right. So we got all the parts. I'm going to show them here. Let's change the angle. All right. So we got our link port connector. We got our power connector. And we have, that's the tacky solder paste. It was sticking, but actually let me clean that out a little bit. But these are the components we're going to be transferring to the motherboard. Let me just clean off. Now that's the one downside with that flux. It works great, but it is extremely tacky and kind of a pain to clean up, to be honest. That's why I like using, for most of my soldering, this no clean flux. It doesn't really leave much of a residue. Okay, we're good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna set the CPU to the side. We're gonna do that last. And I'm gonna go ahead and solder in the link port and, oh, you know what? Huh, well, that's interesting. Actually, this doesn't fit onto right there. I think maybe actually, oh, it's supposed to be like a USB-C port. Okay, huh. Oh, you know what? I might actually have an extra USB-C port that might fit there. Where would I have put that? Because I had an extra one when I did the ODD mod. And, oh, here we go. Okay, actually, and here's my, and here's the DMG. So basically, this is my sort of collectible Play It Loud series DMG. The motherboard of this is in here, so I want to put that back in here because this is like my nice DMG. You can see it actually has like the label. This, you're supposed to actually remove this at the point of sale, and whoever got this, they never removed this, which is really, really cool. Yeah, see, retailer must mail this card immediately to validate customer proof of purchase. But you can see it's like kind of ripped, and it's cool because they have the sticker of the serial number on this here, and it matches the serial number that's on the DMG. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, basically I want to put that motherboard back into this, which is why I'm making this motherboard, so that I can put that into the ODD one. But, yeah, I think I have an extra, so this came from, so the guy who made the ODD mod, he actually lives in Germany, and he sent this cool postcard. But he also sent me a bunch of extra parts, and I think he sent me 2 USB-C ports. Oh, hey. I'm not actually sure what that USB port would be used for, because, but yeah, he did, here, I have an extra USB-C port right here. So let's go ahead. Now, I don't know if it's gonna use the same footprint. Oh, hey, we just got a follow on Twitch. We geil ist Dustin. That sounds German. All right, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the sub. All right, so let's put this here like that. All right, so yeah, actually the, I didn't know that, but yeah, this actually doesn't use the old style power connector. So we actually didn't even need to desolder that. Put that over there. Okay, so let's see if we can solder. Let's see if that connector even fits on the board. So that would go here on this side. Yeah, the DMG board doesn't have much to grip on. Here, let me switch the angle for y'all. So I'm gonna put that there. So essentially, that USB-C. Hey, thanks for the sub, Garbond. Might be a little bit too close. It's not focusing. There we go. Yeah, so basically we're gonna put the USB-C port right there. I just hope that this one actually has the same footprint as whatever they use there. I imagine they're all probably pretty similar. So let me just pull this out. And let's see. Ooh, it might not. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's totally different. Totally different. It doesn't even sit. This is one that's kind of meant to kind of go in the board a little bit, so you can kind of see the pins don't even they don't even sit flush onto the pads. Yeah, it's a little bit too elevated. Okay, that's a bummer. So unfortunately, I won't be able to install USB-C on this. I didn't realize that's how these kits came, but that's whatever. We can, it doesn't affect the mod, it still works. I don't even think I did that for when I actually made the video for this. So that's fine. So what we're gonna do is we're actually just gonna go ahead and install the link port connector, since that is something we can do. I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that in. Let's see here, this is a little bit bent, so I'm gonna bend this leg in slightly because it wasn't allowing me to put it in. And, oop, nope, it's still, these are a little bit too bent out, so I'm bending them in. And that should allow me to, oh, okay, and then I bent them too far in. Just trying to, there we go. There. And that goes right in there. Okay, there we go. All right, just want it to be flush like that. And all the pins are sticking out nicely, and we can go ahead and solder that right in. Now, I get a lot of comments about not using flux when I do some of this soldering. Like, I normally would not use flux for this because my solder is a very high quality solder, and it has a rosin flux core. So there's basically flux in the center of this very thin little piece of solder. So as I'm soldering, the flux is being applied, and it makes for really, really clean solder joints. So if you have a high quality solder, you really don't need flux most of the time. Some applications you will need it, but for the most part, you really don't. All right, so as you'll see here, we'll get very nice clean solder joints. So we're gonna go ahead and solder in these grounding mounting pins here first. See, we get a very nice joint. And we're gonna get another really nice joint right here. Feed that solder in. Beautiful. I like to dwell just a little bit just to have the solder make sure it properly goes everywhere around the through hole. Okay, and another thing, when you're soldering, guys, especially these through hole components, you want to touch both the item that's coming through the hole as well as the little via. You want to heat both surfaces and then feed the solder in. Boop, just like that. Just like that. Just like that. I might already have solder in there. Perfect. And perfect. There we go. Beautiful. And actually, you can even see the flux residue there, which we're going to clean off. But that is fully connected. I'm going to clean that off. All right. And the way I do that is I have this dispenser, which I love, and people ask me about it all the time. So basically, you just lift the little cap here, and you just push down, and a little bit of isopropyl alcohol comes out. And I just put my toothbrush there, or my Q-tip, whatever, and then I just clean whatever surface I need to clean. And I have my Kimtech wipes over here, which I use to basically sop up all the used isopropyl alcohol and flux to clean the board. Okay. These are Kimtech wipes. And so here, let me switch the angle for you. So essentially, I'll just kind of clean and agitate, and then I'll use Kimtech wipe to sop up all of the spent isopropyl alcohol and flux and clean the board. And we have beautiful joints there and a good connection. Okie dokie. Now, let's go ahead and let's put in the CPU. And this is the tricky part. And, I'm going to refer to the instructions, but basically, actually, I don't think I need to. Never mind. I can see right here. It is well marked. So here you can see this corner with this little arrow. So you want to make sure you align the CPU with that. And you can kind of see here, this is a very sticky, the flux is really causing this to stick to my, to the suction cup, which is not good because it gets dirty and then it makes removing other components. So I'm just going to use some isopropyl alcohol to break down that flux residue that's gone on there, so that it's not sticky. And I'm going to be cleaning that there in a second. But so you see that little arrow there on the chip. You'll notice that there's a little bit. You have like a sharp edge here, sharp edge here in this corner, sharp edge here, and then this has a little notch in it. So basically, you're going to line up the chip with that arrow, which there's. If you look at this the silk screening, you see the little notch right there as well. And that's just to make sure you have the CPU perfectly aligned. And basically, my strategy for soldering these, this is actually not too bad because the legs are pretty thick. They're not quite as fine pitch as some of the other CPUs I solder, like kind of the PlayStation, like Sony PlayStation 1 and 2 have some pretty fine pitched legs. But you're basically going to want to line up the CPU with all these, and I might quickly do this off camera so I can like really look at it closely, because it's hard to show it on camera while also doing it. But basically what I like to do is I like to tack in a couple pins in this corner and then a couple pins in this corner. Once those are tacked in and you can confirm that everything is aligned, then you can go in and solder the remaining. So okay, let's see here. So this is pretty aligned. I'm gonna go, actually what I'll do is I'll switch the angle here, and I'll try not to block, but let's get in there. And actually I'm gonna put you a little bit up high because my hat might get in the way a little bit. But that looks pretty lined up. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna go slightly, let me go to this angle just so you can see me, have something to look at, but I'm gonna basically line this up, get a good look at it, and I'm gonna tack it in. Once I have it tacked in, that means the chip won't move anywhere, and then I can be a little bit more, it's a little bit easier to get the rest of the pins in, but first, I like to put just a little bit of solder on the tip of my iron. I'm actually going to use some no clean flux, and I'm just going to tack in 2 points, and I'll show you the 2 points once I do it. Ooh, yeah, don't want to. Let's see here. Okay, that's a line. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Okay. Yeah, so that's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so yeah. All right, perfect. Actually, I'm going to switch it back to the closer angle here, and I'll show you where I tacked it in. Now, you might not actually be able to see it super well, but oops. But basically, I tacked in a couple pins here and a couple pins here, and as you can see, this chip is not moving. Even with just those 2 pins soldered, they're not moving. So, so now that I know they're secure, I can go in with my iron. All right, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put just a little bit. You don't need a lot. Just a little bit of solder on the tip of my iron. I'm going to add more flux. Now I'm just going to go in. I'm going to kind of like in a sweeping brushing motion. I'm just going to kind of, that solder will automatically, not automatically, but it'll kind of apply itself. Like so, and I'm just doing a rough job. I might create some bridging, not a big deal. We can always clean those up later. I'm going to do it on this side right here. It's going to be a little bit awkward of an angle, but I'm going to kind of tilt it over so you can maybe get a better view of what I'm doing. But basically, I'm just going to a nice little sweeping motion. And that's looking pretty good, guys. That's looking really good. That's looking amazing. Now this one you might not be able to see. Oh no, you can see it. I was thinking the cartridge connector might get in the way, but it is not. So again, we're going to add more flux, and then I'm going to again put some solder on just the tip of my iron, not a lot, just a little bit. And we're going to again do that sweeping motion. And the flux is doing a lot of the work here. It's going to basically help ensure we don't cause any bridging and just give us those nice solid joints. Okay, look at that. Beautiful. And really, we just got one more side left. Okay. Is that in focus, guys? Okay, there we go. Yeah, autofocus works sometimes, it doesn't work others, but okay, again, I'm going to put a little bit more solder, or some flux, and then some solder on the tip. And we're just going to Oh, there's a little bit of bridging going on there. Don't worry, we'll clean that up later. And the way I'm going to clean that up, I'm going to add some flux. Boom, clean. Easy peasy. Not too bad. All right. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Thank you. Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, and you know, it kind of sort of looks easy. I make it look a little bit easy. I had tons and tons of practice, and if you guys practice, definitely you'd be able to do stuff like this as well. This is definitely not out of reach for pretty much everybody. I think almost anybody could do this. But again, it just takes practice. And if you're going to practice, don't practice on your precious consoles. On Amazon, you can actually buy some like soldering practice kits. I reckon they're super cheap, like $5, $10, and it gives you a bunch of components, a blank board, and you can practice soldering on that. So if you mess that up, big deal, it's $5. And once you feel comfortable, then you can start doing mods on your precious consoles. So I'm going to clean these up. This looks a little bit not perfect, so I'm going to add a little bit more solder. Add a little bit of flux. And we're just going to clean these up. That's looking much better. Okay. Is that pin bent? Oh no, that's just a bridge. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. And you know, if you're really advanced, you could do sort of this like drag solder technique if you wanted to. For something like this, it's not really necessary. But again, only do that if you're comfortable. And if you're gonna do that, don't put too much pressure as you're doing, because you can actually bend the pin. And I've had that happen before, and that's not fun trying to fix. So I think this looks pretty good. Let me clean it up a little bit, and let me see if there's any bridging. I don't think there is, but and I'm not. You can double check your work with a multimeter. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to kind of wing it. I feel pretty confident that this should work, but let me just do an inspection here. Oh no, we can definitely clean that up. Ooh, actually, these look a little bit. That's odd. That's really interesting. Some of these pins actually look really like they're kind of above the pad, like they're bent upward. That's interesting. I wonder why that is. Did I not put this on flat? Oh, maybe I didn't put this on flat. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Did I not put that on flat? Yeah, it should be fine. I'm going to try and push them down a little bit, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. They look a little, it could be just like an optical illusion. They look a little raised. Yeah, let's address that. Let's see here. Yeah, it's the ones I'm concerned about are the pins on this side over here. That's really weird. Yeah, I'm just kind of like pushing them down because it looks like they were just kind of like lifted. All right, it looks a little bit better. Let me add a little bit of solder. And then these here also similar. They look a little bit raised on this sort of left side over here. So let's see if we can It might be just like, you know, I'm not wearing any magnification, so I don't know. It could be just like the way the light's hitting those pins. It looks like they're slightly raised above the pads. All right, that looks a lot better, actually. The joints at least look a lot cleaner now. Let's see here. This side actually looked fine, but we'll touch it up just in case. So what temp do I keep my iron? Again, it depends on the application. I would say 85, 90% of the time I keep it around 350 degrees Celsius. I'm using leaded solder. I don't know the exact composition of it. Again, I think I have whatever solder I'm using. It should be on my Amazon store. So, but 350 degrees Celsius. Now, these all look good. I think we're in good shape. And I think this side actually looked good, but did we touch up this side? I think we did. Let me just do it one more time. Solder, a little bit of flux, and we're just gonna okay. I think we're good. I'm gonna get a closer look at this. And yeah, those look good. That looks better. They still look a little bit raised, but that shouldn't matter. I think we're good. We'll have a better idea. Well, we'll know if it works once we plug it in. So, okay. So I think we're good there. Now, what I'm going to do is connect the cables. So we got a few cables we got to connect. And this is going to connect to our power board as well as our audio board. And then I think we have yeah, this one is like, I think you can connect the speaker directly to the audio board for, yeah, we'll include that as well. We'll install that. But let's see here, because actually, I think the way I'm going to do this is I want this to be a similar length to what's here. So as you can see, that's where the board will go. And then, you know, so this, let me connect this. Oh wait, oh no, that's the wrong one. This one. Okay, so this goes plugs in here like this. All right, actually I might just keep the length. The length might be fine. So actually that's actually really, really long, to be honest. And then this is, I believe this, yeah, this connects to these pins down here. So it is a little bit, actually, so I think the length is fine. I think the length is fine. I actually need to pull up the instructions on the website. Bear with me one moment. So this is J&T Studio Super DMG. Yeah. All right, so if we go there, according to the website, okay, yeah, so the power board, so we have this power board, which looks like that. Oh my gosh, okay, so their instruction is kind of confusing. But basically, this outermost pin, okay, so okay, all right, oh my gosh, they did this in a really confusing way. Essentially, it doesn't go like this. It almost kind of goes where the wire orientation is like this. Oh yeah, and we can match it up. 5 volt, 5 volt. Okay, no, we're good. Yeah, okay. That makes it easier. So let me show you how we're gonna do this. Switch here, okay. So here, you can see basically, this pin is 5 volt, this pin is 18, minus 18, ground, and then switch. And we can actually match that up to what these are. So 5 volt, 5 volt. So we just got to kind of go, which is really confusing because the 5 volt is the black wire, which is typically ground, but ground is white, which usually means hot. So anyway, I'm going to solder this from this side because, yeah, the board's going to go in. I believe it goes in. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, that's right. The board goes in like this into the CPU. Okay, or into the rear shell. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to basically put these in. So it goes black, red, white, and yellow. Okay. And hopefully those stay in. Oh, actually, this might be a little bit of a pain to... that's not going to be too bad, actually. I think if I zoom in a little bit too, it might go... Okay, there we go. All right. So you can see this. Let's go ahead and solder this. Let me get my fume extractor close. Got it. So let me switch angle so you can get a good look at that. Oh, this is my fume extractor, but okay. All right, there we go. So those are all nicely soldered in. And then we need to solder in the audio board, which... Okay, so this is the audio board. And this plugs in, I believe, like this. I hope. Actually, it might go in the other way. Definitely does not go in that way. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so there it goes. Plugged in like that. And now the way this goes into the connector is, let's see, is this labeled? Oh, this is labeled. Okay. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, so we can see how that works. So again, it's a similar scenario. We got E for enable, G for ground, R for right, L for left, and V for voltage. Oh, easy enough. And okay, so this is not, you know what, I think, okay, so I'm basically, let me go ahead and do this because I don't know how long these wires need to be. So let's just do a check. So I'm gonna take this apart. All right, let me see here. Let me get the chat back up. Sorry. And yeah, apologize, guys. It's sometimes, you know, when I get into the modding, it's hard for me to focus on the chat. But let me see if I can answer your questions. How much did the spool cost include? Oh, I don't know. The spool, you mean like the solder? So I think it was like maybe like 30 bucks, but this solder is the same solder I've had since I started the channel, which was like, I think almost 6 years ago at this point. So it lasts a long time, and I do one mod a week minimum. Well, not minimum, on average. All right, so it's basically, I feel like more than paid for itself. It's lasted this long, so. Let's see here. Well, so that's true. I mean, most of the mods I tend to do successfully, but I have messed up on occasion. I try to show them in the videos if I do, because I feel like if I mess something up, somebody else would also mess that particular part up. So I try to show them in there, but generally I don't run into too many issues, thankfully. I have run into issues in the past, and I try to show them in the video. All right, so these are tri-points. We're gonna disassemble it. This is going a lot faster than I thought it would. Now the thing is, guys, I don't know if this is actually gonna work. First of all, I haven't tested that DMG, although generally the CPUs are fine. But the other issue is that board is designed for the Super Game Boy CPU, not a regular Game Boy CPU. I've read online that you can put the Super Game Boy CPU into a DMG, but you can't put the DMG CPU into the Super Game Boy cartridge. I don't know why. I just heard that. So to me, this CPU kind of seems like a Super Game Boy CPU, because, you know, it's designed to handle it. But I don't know. It could be, again, the regular DMG CPU or the regular DMG motherboard can handle a Super Game Boy CPU. So it could just be like a regular. I don't know, guys. Pardon my rambling, but yeah. I think you know what I'm trying to say. All right, so. Okay, I'm gonna basically unplug this. Ugh. All right, so yeah, this motherboard is gonna go back into my collectible Play It Loud Game Boy. So let's take it out. We need a Phillips, or sorry, JIS bit. Nope, that's not it. Is that JIS? Oh no, it's not. This is. Okay. And these screws are. Oh, were these screws in my DMG? They kind of look like the Nintendo screws. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. I'm gonna get my spudgers. Okay. Great. Okay, so yeah, there you go. That's the DMG CPU. It just looks like just like the board right over here that we removed it from. Oops, that's dirty. I'm gonna set that aside. I'm gonna put that into my other console here in a second. And then I just wanna see how this, oh, actually, I need to cut this because this is too long. So let me do that right now. Use some flush cutters. Let me see how long is the regular one. So the regular one, well, actually the regular one's really short. Holy crap. Look at that. Yeah, so I just need to really trim that. That went flying. That looks pretty good. Let's see how that looks. Okay, that fits in there nicely. Okay, so this, okay, so, ooh. Wow, this, oh, actually, no, that might be okay. So yeah, this, let me, okay, essentially, yeah, this will be good actually. So I should have put the power board in first. So let me do that. So the power board goes, I think, yeah, it goes like this. Goes like that. It just slides in. Come on. Actually, these pins are a little bit too long. Oh no, okay, that's fine. You know, they are a little bit too long. I'm going to trim those actually. Those are a little bit too long. I'm going to trim these pins here. Let's see if I can do them all at once. Oh wow. Okay, they all went inside the case. But let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, so that goes like that. And then this goes in like that. Oh, make sure the power switch. Okay, come on. This power switch is being a real pain. Let me put that in first. Okay, so that's actually kind of, okay, yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, so basically it goes in like that. And I think I do remember this being like that. So that kind of goes in, so you got your power board right there. This just goes around the screw posts, like that. And now, we can put in our power board, or our audio board. Where's the audio board? Oh, right here. And this goes like this. So I feel like we'll route it kind of like that. So we're gonna have to cut quite a bit out. Or actually maybe we want it to go slightly above. Yeah, maybe that's how we want to do it. Go above that post. Yeah, I'm going to do it like that because right now this wire is going in between these two posts. If I have these set of wires also go, it's going to stack too high. So I'm going to put them above. Yeah, so I put them above. Why does this feel like it's sticking out too much? Is that right? So that's really interesting. This, let me show you. This audio jack is extremely elevated. You can see the board, the actual board doesn't make contact with those posts. I didn't notice that before. I'm not actually even sure if those screws are going to reach. Let me see. Oh, now they reach. Now, of course, I'm going to make sure that they're even. Oh yeah, they more than reach. Oh wait, that's is that a longer screw? Hold on a second. I need a short screw. Yeah, this one. All right, so I'm just doing a test fit, guys, just to make sure. Yeah, so, yeah, we got to be a little bit careful here because, yeah, that's not a super good design. So if you look, you can see the screw, or the PCB isn't resting on the screw post. There's actually a little bit of elevation. You can see the screw right there. That's interesting that that's like that. The way it's taken care of on the original is the original has these like spacers built into the 3.5mm headphone jack, and that kind of occupies that space. That does not exist on this. But irregardless, I think that's fine. So what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I think I'm gonna kind of connect the cables like that. Sorry, no. I want this to be routed from the top. Or I wonder if I could maybe route it from the bottom. Nah, from the top. Actually, I might be able to do something like that. Nah, we're gonna cut these pretty short. Maybe like, yeah, this should be more than enough slack. I think that'll be good. That'll be good. We'll be fine. I hope I didn't mess that up, but oh well. We've gone too far now. Okay, so we can take that out. Oh, hey! Yes, it is. Is the white thing under your Riemann? Good eye. Yeah, I don't even know where that came from. Okay. Ooh, yeah, I was like, wow, that's a really bad design flaw. Good call. Wait, how does that go on? Oh, I guess it go. Oh, yeah, not only that. Oh, yeah, I guess it was on there. Maybe it just fell off. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Good eye. Who was that? Riemann 1975. Good eye. Psh. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Yep, there you go. Oh, that's way better. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Okay, we're good now. Shh. Good eye. Wow, that's all right. Man, no, thank you. That was good. Yeah, I was like, dang, there's no way it was like that before. I feel like I would have mentioned that in the video. Okay, so we want this. Oh, let me. Yeah, so actually I'm gonna kind of cut it, maybe at like a, yeah, actually, let me cut it at a slight angle like that and strip these. Saving the day, guys. And someone else might have mentioned that. I just saw Remen 1975 mention that. If someone else said it, sorry, I just, I didn't see it, but no, that was good. That was good. Very good catch. See, now that probably wouldn't have made it into the video if I was like, hey, what's going on? And then I found that later. Okay. I'm just stripping the wires here. Okay. And yeah, you know what, I will. Generally, these are braided wires, so I tend to tin those. It makes it easier to solder. So yeah, let me show you how I do that. Let me switch my angle here. You're probably not going to get a good angle of it. I'm going to try to focus on the wires here. Yeah, you're probably not going to get a good angle. You might actually, it might. But see, it's nice to have the wires kind of just stick up like that, because then I can just touch them. And then just get a little bit of solder on them. It basically binds all the strands together, and it makes the surface much easier to solder to, having them pre-tinned. So I'm just pre-tinning all these tips. Okay, there we go. And they're tinned. Bring you back. Now, okay, so we're going to go into these vias right here. I'm going to match them up. So R is E, G, which is ground, is black. Okay, that makes sense. The yellow is the right channel, audio channel. Green is the left audio channel. And blue is the 5 volt. Okay. Ah, crap. Lost the yellow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully flip this over. And if I lost one, that's okay. But it looks like they're all in there. So I'm going to just solder them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Okay, so those are all in there. Get you so you can see everything's nice and connected. Great. Now, hopefully these were soldered correctly. We're going to find that out real soon. Basically, whether or not this is going to work. Okay, and we have this bracket now. All right, so the first thing we put in was the power board. That goes in like so. Why is that so tight? Hold on. Okay, that goes in. Yeah, there we go. And then we put in the CPU. Oh, and I do have to mention, video sponsored by my friends over at the Computer Museum. Again, if you're local to Maryland or kind of in this DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia area, definitely check them out. Link is in the video description. Okay, so we got the audio. And I'm basically going to route this. How am I? Actually, I'm going to do it like this, I think. Yeah. I'm going to put this little bracket like that. And then I'm going to just screw that in. I'm going to worry about routing the wires here in a second. All right. Where's my screwdriver? Right here. These are the screws. I like to, there we go. Essentially what I'm doing there is I kind of go counterclockwise, grab the thread of the plastic, because, plastic threads can really just, they can tear really easily. So I like to, since I already made the threads with the screw prior, I like to go counterclockwise until I feel the threads engage on the screw, and then screw it in. That way you ensure you're not going to cross thread. And then I said I was going to basically route this around the top, like that, and then this on the kind of in between the posts. So it should look like that. That's not too bad, right? That looks pretty good. Hey, Angry Helder over on Twitch says, Tito, my good man, you should look into using Tachyflux. I do on occasion use Tachyflux. I used it for removing, but I just hate the cleanup. I like using this No Clean. It's doesn't leave as much of a mess, a sticky mess. But Angry Helder makes mods. Everybody, definitely recommend checking out his website. He makes good stuff. Haven't checked it recently, but I featured quite a few of his mods on the channel. So I would definitely check out Angry Helder. I think it's angryhelder.com, but yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, hey, that'd be great. Yeah, I'd like to try it out. Thank you. Thanks, Helder. Okay, so let's see if this thing works. I'm a little nervous, y'all. Let's go ahead and plug in the ODD screen mod. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything. Ooh, okay. Oh, well, I've got to be careful here. These connectors, I hate these connectors with a passion. Gotta be very careful with these connectors. Oh my god. Oh my, I hope I don't ruin the mod just by, because yeah, there's this like plastic thing, I can already feel it delaminating. Oh wow, that is a really tight, let me see. Actually, I'm gonna try and push it in with spudger. Let's see here. Major pain. Okay, it's like kind of getting kind of in there. And then if I just... Oh, that's not gonna work. All right, how am I gonna do this? I don't wanna... I really don't want that blue tab to come off. It's like in there. I think this ribbon cable might be a bit on the thick side. Even though it worked on the stock motherboard. Let me try and put the... Oh no, I don't have the stock. I do have a stock screen. Actually, let me get the stock screen real quick. Since I don't care about that because it's from a donor console. Hold on one second, guys. Let me grab that. All right, so I got a bin here of DMG parts. And one of them is a front screen. I'm going to try and insert that connector first, maybe to not loosen, but sort of make it any subsequent cable easier to plug in. So I'm going to try and plug that in. Okay, yeah. Okay, so it's in. Okay, so that one went in. That was actually not too bad. All right, so hopefully that kind of expands the connector a little bit, so maybe you can accept. That's a really tight connector. All right, so that went in fine. Now that I sort of broke in that connector a little bit, let's see. Oh yeah, oh no, damn. Sorry, didn't mean to cuss there. That is not wanting to go in. Watch this be the hardest part of the whole install. Yeah, that is not wanting to. It's like almost in there, but it's like not wanting to go in. Okay, I think I kind of... Yeah, I'm not going to want to... If I get this in, I'm not going to want to take it out. So I got like the one side in. Wow. Yeah, because so what's going on here, guys, is that little black tab on the back, which gives this connector a little bit of rigidity, is starting to delaminate from the actual ribbon cable. That might be in enough. And because of that delamination, the cable is losing. Yeah, see, it's losing strength. It's becoming easy to bend. I have an extra ribbon cable in case this one gets messed up. Yeah, look at this. See how it's like delaminating? That's bad. Actually, I might add a little bit of glue to the back. Yeah, let me do that. I'm gonna add some super glue to that. Yeah, that's not good. Ugh. Oh, let's see. Of course, it's the simplest part. That's the pain, but all right, got a little bit of glue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically bend that back a little bit. Yeah, actually, ooh, I feel pretty good about that. I'm just going to, oh wow, don't want to glue my finger. I also hope that doesn't make it thicker, but let me clean that up a little bit. Yeah, actually that's actually pretty good. Okay, that kind of worked, guys. Now it's like really, let me see how long this takes to set, because I want it to cure fully. But yeah, actually worked pretty good. Oh, hey, super glue it. Yeah, great minds think alike. Okay, yeah, so that's glued back. That feels pretty nice. Let's give that another try. Yeah, that connector is something else. Let me put the other motherboard back in there again. I'm gonna like kind of insert it a couple times, loosen it up. Yeah, that is a tight connector, guys. That is a super tight connector. Yeah, wow. I mean, I'm able to put it in, but it takes considerable force. Wow. Okay, yeah. I mean, it goes in. Actually, I'm going to test it with this, because I just want to make sure it works. And if it works, then I'm gonna like cinch everything down. Yeah, let me. Oh, yeah. Actually, that should be fine. All right, yeah. Let me try that. I'm gonna put this so it doesn't. So. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we got the LED. Or something is on screen, but it's, let me see. Yeah, that, I might need to touch up, actually let me put in a game. Okay, so it's kind of working, fellas. Let me change the angle for you guys so you can see. So let's turn it on. Ugh, it's a really, oh wow, the power switch is, oh, that's because the cartridge isn't all the way inserted. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, that's weird. Okay, so yeah, maybe, did I not? Interesting. Is that a bad screen or a bad solder job? I don't know if this screen works. Let's see. Anybody? Oh, hey, Lord Chrysicus. Great work on the Switch Lite video. Definitely want to do that. Yeah, it's a great mod, for sure. Yeah, I don't know if that's an issue with the CPU or not. Imagine it's not. Yeah, maybe, or it could be. It's like maybe sort of. Now the other thing is, I don't know if, does anybody in the chat know? So this mod was designed for a Super DMG CPU, or sorry, a Super Game Boy CPU. Not the DMG CPU. Is that the issue, or is it maybe the pins? I'm gonna check the pins, let's see. Actually, let me keep that there. Take out the batteries. right, well, actually, I do want to plug in this screen. Let's, because I want to see, I don't know if it's a screen issue or the CPU. It looks like it probably is a CPU issue. Let me, oh wow, it's actually completely delaminated. I might have to put more, maybe that's why it wasn't going in. It's completely delaminated right there. Oh, yep, and the glue just died on me. It completely separated. Yep. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that glue didn't really work. Oh, what a bummer. Yeah, I might need to put a new ribbon cable on this, which is kind of a pain because they, if you watch the video on the ODD, I actually have to separate these pins from the other connector. I mean, now that this is kind of mangled, I'm just gonna send it. Let's see if we can. That is a real bummer. Oh, I thought that glue was gonna work. This is pretty frustrating, y'all. Let me see. So if I hold it there, if I can get this spudger. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that totally delaminated. Yeah, let me look at it's like completely off. I don't know if you can see that. That's not a good connector. Let me get the spare, and let me see if I can even plug in the spare. All right, so this is a spare it came with. Let's see if I can plug that in. I might just leave it in if I can plug it in. Come on. Okay. All right, that's in. That is in. I am going to leave that plugged in. Okay. And I think, let me see, how am I going to do this? All right, so the way, and you know, actually, so the way I installed it was like the proper way. Let me do it the other way. Because the installer recommended, or the guy who created the mod recommended to separate the pins. I don't think it's necessary. If you solder it quickly, I think it basically he wants to avoid melting the kind of the Mylar coating on these, or whatever kind of plastic coating. But I think if you solder it quick, you can avoid that. So let's give that a shot. All right. And I'll show you, for those of you who maybe didn't watch the video, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, oh, I gotta remove the screen too. That's a pain. All right, so the screen is really nice bracket. So let's go ahead, separate that. But yeah. All right. It's always an adventure, modding. Always something. Okay, let me... Thank goodness, the name is escaping me. The guy who made the mod, thankfully he sent me kind of like spares. All right, so here you can see what I'm talking about. Basically, I had to individually wrap those or individually lift each of those pins to solder to this. So let's go ahead and remove that. Peel off this Kapton tape. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, which I think, so here you can see those individual pins. I'm just going to, I think that should work. All right, so let me get this out without lifting any of the pads, obviously. That in itself might be a bit of a challenge. Basically, I'm just going to kind of heat these up and gently lift. Yeah, it's working. Okay, that's giving me a little bit of trouble there, so let's add a little bit of solder. Let me bring it in a little bit. Okay, there we go. Not too bad. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of solder wick to get rid of some of that residual solder. I'm actually going to switch the tip of my iron to this one, which will help heat the pads better. There we go. So I'm going to add a little bit of flux. Where is my flux? Where did my flux go? Oh, there it is. A little bit of flux. And then with my braid, I'm just going to remove a lot of this old solder. Oops. There we go. All gone. Now, let me show you what I was sort of talking about. Ooh, that's going to be hard. Oh, I might need to... Actually, okay, yeah, I might need to remove the pins. Because, yeah, this... Oh, no, actually, no, I won't, because it goes like this. Yeah. No, we're good, we're good. Right? That's how it was, I think. Let me see. Yeah. Because, yeah, this went in like that. The screen is in the front. Yeah. This is in the back. Yeah. No, we're good. We don't need to. Okay, so let's do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to solder it like this without lifting these individual pins, because that'll just be a lot quicker. We'll save time doing that. Yeah. So the way I'm gonna do that is actually, yeah. This is kind of how I did it when I was doing the mod. A little bit of tape up here, like so, and then I just aligned let's see here. Let's align it. Okay, that's aligned. Now, as long as you don't dwell too long, it should be fine. It's going to be totally fine, guys. Totally fine. So let me switch the tip, my iron, back. Actually, I'm going to use my normal tip. Yeah. Okay. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to put a little bit of solder onto the tip of my iron. And a little bit of flux here on these pads. And I'm going to sort of bend it back like this so that it's being pushed up against. And let's see if this works. Ooh, it is kind of melting it. Wow, yeah, actually it is melting. Ooh, okay. You know, I think we're gonna have to do the way that it was done, because yeah, it's actually melting super quick. Okay. So let me show you how it's supposed to be done. And for that, I do think I'm going to have to, actually no, I can do this. So I need to peel, I do need to peel this off. So the way that's done is with some heat. I'm gonna lower the temperature to 100 degrees Celsius. Because 400 is way too much, but it's just enough to remove the adhesive. Okay, all right. Now the reason I'm keeping this in the connector is because that connector is the devil, and it's hard to get it out. So this is how you're supposed to do this mod. Okay. So that should be good enough. And essentially I'm going to remove that backing. Okay, might require a little bit more heat. Yeah, so yeah, no, I know the Super Game Boy CPU is compatible with the stock DMG motherboard, but my question is it compatible with this Super DMG motherboard, which was designed for the Super DMG CPU or Super Game Boy CPU, not a regular CPU. So I'm guessing it should be, but I'm just not 100% sure. Yeah, this is giving me, let me see, I think it was just heat that I used to get this off. Oh yeah, there we go. We got it. Okay, I was getting under the lip. And there we go. Okay, and now in order to lift, and actually, it's actually good I'm showing this because on the, in the video, I forgot to record this part. But basically now what I'm doing is I'm lifting, let me switch the angle here. I'm lifting these pins right here. All right, so basically just kind of and again, I might need to apply some heat. me see, is that how I did it? I might need to go to the, oh no, yeah, I think that looks like, get that on camera. I remember this being a lot easier. Let me read how I did that. Let me go to the instructions. This was open. Let's see, open DMG display. Make sure I'm doing this right. All right, so we go to the Open DMG display website, and basic. Yeah, here we go. Okay, it says. Remove the FFC using hot air. Carefully lift each trace with a knife or tweezers. Using the hot plate makes this easier. Be careful not to burn yourself or the traces. Okay, yeah. I guess I just heated it up. Yeah. Yeah, let me apply more heat. Because yeah, I remember they lifted much easier than what's happening right now. But let me, okay. Yeah, so I was doing it right. Let me switch the angle. There we go. We're basically just going to heat these up a little bit more. Again, I'm just using 100 degrees Celsius. And that should be enough to basically allow me to delaminate these pins. Yeah, this was a lot easier when I did it before. Why is this? Yeah, you can see here, this is what was, I was worried about just burning. It was burning off as I was trying to solder in. I might just try to solder it in again. What a pain. Go to my screen. Got a piece of Kapton tape. Let's see here. Okay. I'm going to commit to just soldering it in. Okay. And let me see, I was gonna put, actually before I do that, let me bend these down a little bit. There we go. All right, sorry guys, just trying to get a little focus. And I'm just gonna try to solder this. Let's see. So even if it melts a little bit, yeah, that's fine. Add a little bit of flux here. This is turning out really bad, but I think I might be able to clean it up. Let me just show you all. Yeah, part of this is I'm melting the connector a little bit. Just causing a little bit of an issue, but I think we can move past it. Okay. I think they're pretty much connected. Now I just gotta clean it up. All right, so I think the connections are made, but obviously not the cleanest. It actually didn't turn out as bad as I thought it would. Okay, let's make sure everything is. All right, cool. Not that bad. Could have been worse, but let's clean that up and see how it looks. Yeah, we got a lot of melty plastic around there. And I'm actually gonna check for continuity because I do want to make sure this is working. I know this screen works. I don't know if that DMG screen we were using works or not, but this I know does work, so I do want to make sure we are getting continuity. I'll show you how I do that. All right, let's see. Essentially, what I'm gonna do, get my multimeter, put it on continuity mode. And essentially, to ensure we're getting continuity, I'm gonna test each one. So you'll hear the beep, I hope. So you can hear that beep. So basically, I'm gonna test the top of this to the bottom of the pad, and that'll mean, if I hear a beep, that means they're connected. Okay, connected, 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 connected. Oh, this one actually might not be. This one right here. Yeah, okay, that one's not connected. We'll fix that. Connected, connected. And I could actually just see that visually. Okay, yeah. So they're all good except for one, and I'll show you which one. And you can actually, maybe, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but yeah, it's this one right here. You can see there's basically no solder on that single pad there, so there's no connection. So let me just touch that up really quickly. Excuse me. And then we should be good. Okay, let me check that one. Okay, I think that's the one right there. I'm going to check them all around. Good. 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 Yeah, so we're good. Okay, so that is good. I'm actually going to secure this with, I'm going to clean it and I'm going to secure it with some Kapton tape. A fresh piece of Kapton tape. So let me go ahead, clean that area. And then also the Kapton tape is going to sort of double as a brace, prevent, you know, the cable from being pulled out, essentially. There we go. Cool, okay. Sort of good as new. Now let's go ahead and connect. It's going to be a little challenging. Ooh, yeah, this is going to be very challenging. Let me see. Yeah, I really don't want to disconnect that ribbon cable just because it was such a pain to get in. And I apologize for neglecting the chat. Let me bring you back up. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so yeah, this is a challenge. One of the, and it was kind of something that was supposed to be easy. Plugging in a ribbon cable. You think that'd be the simplest part, no soldering required, and yet that's the part that got messed up. So yeah. So basically I'm just trying to connect this 3D printed bracket. Yeah, just need to get one or two in really. If I just get two in the opposing corners without touching the LCD because I don't want to get fingerprints on it. Okay, there we go. Excellent, okay. All right, so we got the LCD in. Now I just got to connect it here. Lift the, okay. Okay, that should be in. Beautiful, okay. Now let's see, because since I know this screen works, let's test and see what happens when we put batteries in. Get some batteries. And let me go change the angle for y'all. All right, so I'm gonna put the batteries in. Okay. All right, let me get this so prevent any shorting. Let's see if it powers on, if we get that same garbled mess that we were getting before. Let's see. Okay. Hey, okay, so now we're getting something. Oh, no game. That happens when you have no game. So hold on. Let's put a game in. Oh, there is a game in. Okay, hold on a second. No, there is a game in. I got Final Fantasy in. Maybe there's some oxidation on the contacts. Okay, let's see now. Okay. Yeah, it could be the CPU. All right, so let's check to see if the CPU is maybe not soldered well. Try another game just in case. Oops. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess it's probably the CPU. Or it could be, because let me check the continuity on the CPU. I am not going to disconnect the screen, but I will take out the batteries. Yeah, let's see if we can do this. Ugh. Without removing the screen. Should be able to. Oh, I did screw in the audio board. Just take the audio board out. Oh. Game is still in. There we go. Okay. All right, so we know it's getting power. Yeah, I'm going to check continuity on each of these pins. But if the continuity is good, I will reflow them. And it might just be, again, this board was designed for the Super Game Boy CPU, not a regular DMG. But I can't imagine it wouldn't work. But I do know that the regular DMG CPU does not work in a Super DMG, a Super Game Boy motherboard. But let's check continuity here, make sure our pins are good. And let me switch angles so you can see how I do it here. It's very similar to how I just did it, but let's clear some space. Essentially what I do is I touch, I touch the bottom of the pad and then the top of the leg. To ensure they're connected. And so that side looks good. I'm going to try this side here. This side closest to me. Good. Oh, hey. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one doesn't look... Oh, yeah, okay, that one looks pretty bad. That's good. 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 Oh, yeah, that one looks bad, too. All right, so we might have a few bad solder joints. Yeah, and that one too. Yeah, if I push down on it. Okay, yeah, so we got a few cold joints, or not cold joints, but like a couple bad solder joints here. On this side right here, we had like 3, I think. I'm going to test these top ones right here. Let's see. Okay, okay, that's good. This is really hard to do from this angle. Let me do it again from this angle. So I'm testing this side right here. Yeah, again, I remember these pins did look like they were slightly lifted. Okay, that's good. That's good. 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 Yep, that one's bad. Good. Yeah, that's a bad one too. Yeah, okay, guys, it is a CPU issue. Yeah, okay, knowing that, I'm just gonna go ahead and reflow these. Yeah. Okay. Easy. Yeah, I could even tell when I was touching one of the legs, it was moving. So it could be just a matter of adding a little bit more solder. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Screws out of the way. All right. Well, so that actually the logo I think that's coming from the ODD mod, so that's why that was displaying. So yeah. Yeah, I must have, maybe when I removed the CPU, I bent, if I didn't lift it cleanly, maybe, I don't know why the pads were so raised. Interesting. But it should be just a simple touch-up. Yeah, oh yeah, that's like lifted. Yeah, a lot of these are just lifted very high. Oh yeah. Yeah, they're just, yeah, it's like the pins are just like sitting above the pads, and they're like, I don't know why they're so lifted. That's weird. Let's try that one more time. Just add a little bit more solder. Yeah, these pins, I don't know if you, yeah, you guys probably really can't, you definitely can't see it, but yeah, I can very much tell these pins are high. So if I had enough solder to maybe like build up some height so they do make contact with the pads below, I think that'll do it. Weird, so weird. Like the weird thing is like they're all like maybe there's like something below the CPU that I didn't see, and it's like causing it to sit high for whatever reason. Oh yeah, these are clearly, right now I'm just trying to like push them down to bend them down because they're very clearly sitting above the pads. I think I'm getting them. I think I'm pushing them down enough now. All right, this is the last side. Let's hope that does it. Whew. It's always something. Always something. Oh. Okay, yes, patience is a virtue. 100%, especially when you're modding. You want to take your time. Yeah, this one, like, clearly is lifted. Yeah, all of them are. What is going on here? All right, let me just do a little continuity check. Let's see if I can get one whole row. That's good. 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 And good. Okay, so that row is good. I'm not going to test them all. I think now it should be fine. I hope so. So let me just put this into the back casing. Let me switch the angle here. Oops. Sorry. Where is it? Over there we go. Not over the sink. Table over. There we go. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, I'm not even going to put in the audio board. I'm just going to keep, I just need to make sure they're not shorting. But let's put this in. Come on. Okay. That's in. What is that? There we go. Okay. That feels like it's in. Let me insert a game. Pokemon, red. Okay, that's in. And now, let me just separate. I don't want any of this shorting, so let me put that there, especially this power board. Makes me a little bit nervous. So yeah, let's do, oh, I gotta put the batteries in. Put the batteries in. It's a little bit of a mess, but let's see. Okay. Okay. And the last battery. Okay, those are all in. Okay, I don't want this shorting out. Get that power board away. So let me do this. There we go. All right, let's see if this works. Okay, please, for the love of goodness gracious, let's let this work. Okay, we get power. We got the screen. Okay. Hey, it works. Okay, we got Pokemon working. Oh, you know what? Okay, I don't hear audio. So that must mean I do have to connect. I do have to connect the speaker. So I can't connect the speaker like it is right now, which is, let me move this over, which is right there. It has to be connected to the soundboard directly. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to power this off. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Basically, I'm going to take out the, excuse me. Okay. Take out the game. then let's take out. So let me show you how that works. Okay, so, all right, we figured it out, guys. It was just a lot of bad solder joints on the CPU, but we got it resolved. Yeah, I don't know. So basically, it was like the CPU was like almost like floating, and the pads were not making, or the pins were not making contact with the surrounding pads. Really weird. Okay. But how's everybody doing? Speaker cannot work. Wait, the speaker cannot work with the screws on it. Oh, there are screws on it. Oh my God. Okay. Well, let's give that a shot again. I mean, I'm still going to connect the that audio, but yeah, let me try that again. That's a good point. You guys have really good eyes. My God, much better than me. Good eyes. I didn't even see the screws on there. Let's see. Let me turn the volume all the way up. I think it's all the way up. Maybe it's down. Let's see. No, still no audio. Yeah. Now, I think for this mod, you need to... Yeah, I don't... Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, I think for this mod, you need to connect the audio board. The speaker directly to the audio board, excuse me. So let me go ahead and remove those batteries. So yeah, that's true that I think under normal circumstances, if there were screws on the speaker, it wouldn't sound right. I don't know if it wouldn't work completely. But yeah, let's do what the mod tells us, and it does tell us to connect it directly. Let's see here, which is kind of a little bit inconvenient. All right, here we go. So, and there's actually another screw, but it's on the back. Okay. So essentially, the speaker plugs into this connector right here. So I'm going to give us a lot of length here, and I think so. Yeah, let me disconnect the speaker from this. Switch the angle here. Desk is getting really messy, guys. All right, so let's move these screws. All right, so we're gonna, and actually this screw is from a Game Boy Advance because I didn't have, an extra, DMG screw. I think it's a Game Boy Advance. Yeah, so basically let me take, all right, so now that that's out, I'm gonna basically remove these wires. 1 and 2. Okay, so we got those out. And then the speaker wire is right here. And this is really long, but I'm just gonna leave the length so it gives us flexibility in how we put it in. Because I'm not exactly sure how long it needs to be, and I wanna get this done sooner rather than later. And I believe the polarity does not matter for the speaker, so we can connect any side to any side. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and tin these wires. And again, the way I do that, as long as they're not on the table, I just basically put my iron underneath and add a little bit of solder. And this these are stranded, so this keeps the wires together. And also it makes it easier to solder to the speaker or anything you're soldering to. Okay, here we go. And we go. Okay, let's put this thing together. Actually, this is going to be a little bit of a challenge. I'm going to put the back first. Actually, I'm going to connect the speaker to the board. Let me switch the angle. All right, so basically this connects, I believe, like so. Oh my God. Jeez. Okay, this goes like that. That would have been disastrous. Well, I guess I could have just soldered it directly to the board, but all right. I'd rather use the connector. I almost bent the connector. I don't know if you guys saw that, but okay. So let's situate everything in. I think the thing I put in first is going to be a bit of a jumbled mess, but the thing I put in first is the power board. Okay, followed by the motherboard, which is going to go like that. Okay, that like that. Oh, and then I can't forget to connect that 3D printed bracket for the LCD, but I'm going to go ahead and connect these. These take short screws. So let me grab a short screw. Oh, the bracket. Can't forget the bracket. Okay, let's see here. Oop. There we go. Boom. Whew. Wow. It's a little bit harder than I thought it would be. And the main issue, well, the CPU was an issue, but that's an easy fix. This cable was a real pain in the butt. All right, and then now these medium screws go on either side of the connector, the cartridge connector. Okay, so that's in. Make sure the switch works. Okay, the switch works. And there's the other one. Okay. Great. Okay. So those are in. Okay, now I'm going to kind of do this little wire management here. So this is going to go above. These are going to go below. Kind of like that. And we just need to make sure that it sort of stays like that. And this speaker is going to be kind of a pain in the butt. It's a lot of wire. And I think it's going to end up being situated like around here. So I might actually cut this wire a little bit. Actually, that's not too bad. I can just do that actually. There we go. So kind of bundled up the wire right there. And it'll just kind of go in. But all right, so now this is going to be a bit of a challenging part because I need to make sure there's no dust on that screen. But first, let me fully connect the 3D printed bracket to the front board because we only have 2 screws in there. I need to put 2 more. Okay, that's 1. And I got to tighten it because I just put them on loosely. All right, so that's 1 and oh, there's a little bit of tape in the way. Let me see if I can. There we go. Get the tape out of the way. That was the capped on tape that was holding the ribbon cable. We got it out of the way. Okay. That's good. It's tight. Tight. And tight. Okay. So this is the top shell. It's already got the buttons on it. Let me get my, I have like a dust blower. Right here. So I'm going to blow the dust out. That might be in here. And then I'm going to blow it off of this LCD, which I did manage to not get my fingerprints on, which is good. And so Okay. Ooh. So we need to do it like this. Not removing the ribbon cable is a real pain in the butt, but it was also not being very cooperative when I was removing it, so, or when I was trying to install it. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep it in, but let me make sure, get all the screws here for the front PCB. Almost done. Fantastic. All right, so it's finally coming together. Whew. My goodness. Okay. And I think a couple of these screws actually, yeah, weren't working too well. So I opted to not put them in. I think it was these two. For whatever reason, the case, like the screw hole was just too wide. It wasn't gripping. Let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then there's this. This screw seems a bit too long, to be honest. Let me see. Maybe I try to put it in here. Maybe that's what it was. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, I think those are all the screws. There should be one here. I am missing a screw. Let's see. I think it's fine for now. Well, I'll worry about it later. I just want to get this put together. Yeah, so putting this in here is going to be a little bit of a challenge. So let me go ahead and try to wind this up in a way where it's not blocking. Oh, actually, you know what I could do? I could do that. Yeah, that might be a better route. I'm actually going to, yeah, feed the wire sort of through here, like so. And just have it kind of live in this little cubby area right here. That's not too bad. I wonder if that's actually going to work. Let's see if that actually works. Again, need to make sure these stay out of the way. Okay. Let's see, trying to close this up. Yeah, so we're having a little bit of bunching up near that post right there. Let me make sure. I might need to put like maybe a piece of tape there just to kind of hold pieces. Yeah, because it kind of needs to go like this. Yeah, I might need to put maybe like a small piece of tape. Actually just right there. Let me do that. One piece of tape. So Cooper 2060 shorten the speaker wire while it's still easy to do, and twist the part you use up a little bit. Oh, I guess yeah. I've seen people do that. I could do it. Let me just button it up real quick, make sure everything is working the way it should be working. And what time is it? If I have time, I'll do it right now. Yeah, 7:38. Yeah, I could probably still do it. But let me go ahead and cut this piece of Kapton tape to wire, manage these wires a little bit. I'm just going to put a little piece, because you see this like kind of lifts up a little bit. I just want it to stay down. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, perfect. So that way I know it's not going to interfere with this post right here and get pinched. And we're good. Beautiful. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to temporarily tuck these wires in this little cubby like so. I'll leave the speaker right there. I don't know if it's gonna... Oh yeah, it'll fit right in that little cubby. And yeah, okay, good. We are closed. Now, let me switch my screw head to a tri-point, and we're gonna button this thing up. Okay, that's one screw. There. And I'm going to do one in the opposing corner up here. Okay. All right, and that should help keep everything together. Okay. And then, yep. Great. Let's just hope it works. Oh, and let's hope we have audio. I didn't even check to see if the audio is now working. I assume it is. Yeah. Okay. Before we button it all the way up, well, let's give it a quick test now. Let me turn, oh, what am I doing? Let me turn my fume extractor off, since we're not really soldering anymore. And there we go. Let's see. Clean it up. Okay, I heard a crackle on the oh my god, that is really loud. Holy crap. Okay, so it is working. That is super loud. I don't know if you guys heard that. Yeah, so I guess it's an audio amp too. All right, so it works. It works. So for JT Studios, you know, they can now advertise this as working not just with a Super Game Boy CPU, but a regular DMG CPU as well. So. Hey, okay, guys, we are really working here. Fantastic. Okay, so that's where, you know, I think I'm just gonna, I mean, the speaker wire doesn't really bother me. It's nicely in this little cubby here. I might fix that later, but we'll see. Okay, so this is working. And also, if any of you guys have any questions about the ODD mod, I don't mind going over some of the features. It's a really cool kit. And what I'll do is while you guys are, you know, maybe asking questions, I'm going to put this, this was the CPU that was in there. I'm going to put it back into my Play It Loud, and I'll try and answer your questions. So, but yeah, for folks who are, you know, tuning in for the first time to my live streams, I'm trying to do this once a month. And what I mean by once a month, it's actually 1 week a month. So basically this week I'm going to be streaming twice. Usually I've been doing 3, but I'm actually doing a lot of filming this week, or I'm trying to do a lot of filming this week for other projects. So yeah, basically it's going to be every 4th week is a streaming week. So after this week is done, 4 weeks from then, I'll do another week stream. So I'm going to try and make this a more regular event. But yeah, let me get my Super Game Boy, which is, or my Play It Loud, which is right here. And just for, yeah, this was actually a pretty interesting retail case. I think this is late in the Game Boy life cycle during the Play It Loud portion of it. They came in like these plastic cases, which are really nice. Like if you can lift it up, oops, it flips open like that. And this is like from Nintendo. Like it even has like the Nintendo seal. And yeah, you can see basically it's a part. Oh, you know what? Those screws. Oh, those screws might be from. Oh, wait a second. Wait. Oh no, I think I put them in a baggie. Yeah, never mind. Ah, yeah. So I put all the screws in a baggie. Because I like to keep the original hardware with the console it comes from. So, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna install this motherboard back in. Super simple. But yeah, so let me see here. Let me try and also read the chat. Yeah, it gets super loud with the amp. Well done, yeah. And yeah, I mean, so I've been doing a few of these streams now. This is like my third one this year. So I'm starting to get the hang of it. But yeah, I actually kind of enjoyed doing the mods live. And I hope it's like helpful for you guys so you can actually see like the full process instead of like a nice cleanly edited video. You get to see how like everything sort of works, or how I sort of do these mods. But yeah, okay, so that goes in. Like, let me put the power switch on. So as far as I know, there are not any pre-built versions of the ODD. I hope maybe after somebody watched my video, maybe they, if it's popular enough. I think the video didn't do super well. The Game Boy modding scene is really, really saturated, so I kind of understand. But I really hope somebody, makes it available because, and you can probably get these mostly built by PCBWay. Let me see here. Okay, so so that's a tri-point. All the tri-point screws are exterior screws, and all the JIS are interior screws. So that's a good way so you can remember how you assemble and disassemble the Game Boy. Phillips. Okay. All right, so these are interior screws, but yeah, so Alan, just to let you know, there are no pre-built ones that I know of at the moment for those ODD mods. So Tito, the ODB mod would be, let's see, to have... Oh, it would be. Yeah. I mean, so I do want to do a build, like a totally clear, Game Boy build. That would be actually, it'd be really cool to do it for the, what do you call it? This is like my favorite Game Boy Color. I did a video on this, but it'd be cool to make this like 100% clear. That'd be really cool. Let's see, so yeah. Okay, we got that. Okay, good, we're good. And I have the little cover here, so that goes in there. And that's pretty much it. Okay, now these DMG ones, these connectors are a little bit beefier than the one I did on my ODD mod. So they go in a lot nicer. Whew. So we hit a few roadblocks, but, thankfully I had the spare parts. So I didn't have the spare parts, so, massive thank you to the ODD creator for sending spares, because I would not have been able to probably complete this project. I would have had to figure out a way to repair that ribbon cable, which wouldn't have been easy. But yeah. Yeah, no, Natalie the Nerd she like reverse engineered, I want to say at least, I know she did the pocket, I think maybe even the color. So yeah, and I know I saw she posted a few pictures of like the clear PCBs, and they look awesome. And I think PCBWay actually just got someone posted that on my one of my social media. They posted like PCBWay has the transparent boards now. So yeah. Let's see, yeah, so, oh hey, Wagner from Brazil. Welcome, welcome. Appreciate it. Okay, so that's working. Actually, I'm gonna make sure this is working. It's actually amazing how far the Game Boy modding scene has come. And, I mean, just looking at these, like I remember playing with these back in the day. My friend actually, I started with a Game Boy Pocket. That was my first Game Boy, but my buddy, he got the DMG when it came out. And yeah, I mean, imagine going from a screen that looks like this, oops, to, you know, what we have now. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. But, I mean, these things still work. I mean, I love this thing. Yeah, cool. All right, so that works good. Yeah, does anybody have any more questions? Oh, yeah, let me see here. So Angry Helder, it would dissipate pretty quickly. They usually do have the resistor to pull power to ground, turn off the... Okay, it's answering someone's question. Oh, okay, so yeah. Yeah, Helder just answered, someone had a question on Twitch. Basically, if you remove the batteries, is there still a charge on the board? And I mean, some of the capacitors may be holding a charge, but Angry Helder says they usually discharge pretty quickly. I guess maybe even, I heard people, if you just flip the power switch, it might kind of dissipate the charge in those capacitors. Again, I'm not an electrical engineer, but that's from my understanding. So, okay. Oops. All right, so that's all set. And, oh yeah, and here's the, yeah, dude, this thing comes with everything. It was complete. So we got like the manual, pretty sweet. Really cool. I mean, I forgot, I think I got a pretty good deal on this. And I think it came with Tetris, which I just have the case in here. I don't have the actual game. Oh, and it also came with the batteries were right here. And I don't know if anything came in this little compartment. Or wait, maybe the game... Oh, this is to store your games. Oh yeah, so you could store like a couple games here and a couple games here. And the batteries go here. Maybe an extra set of batteries. Pretty cool, yeah, that it actually came with a little case like that. So I love this thing. And like, I don't know if people may be joining in late. This actually even has this little, it looks like it was like a post or like a thing you put in the mail. But yeah, you're supposed to, once you sell this, the retailer basically is supposed to tear this off and send it. But this one actually still has it on there, which is really, really cool. So, that's that. And yeah. Yeah, I am planning a trip to Japan pretty soon. So I'm actually really excited about that. I'm actually, one of the videos I'm going to be filming there, I was able to track down a really rare piece of hardware. And one of the videos is going to be me picking it up because it's pretty big. And I didn't want to have it shipped, so I'm going to basically have to package it when I go there and transport it back safely. So I'm a little nervous about that because I hope the airline doesn't like destroy it on accident. That would be bad. So, see, Tito, don't know if, let me see, don't know if left filed, but the DVD DMR is now stopped recording onto. Oh, so yeah, so that could be just a bad laser. I'm guessing it sounds like your DVD recorder is not working. So, so Ariel saying use a hardback suitcase. Yeah, no, it's a little bit too big for a suitcase. I'm actually bringing a special case for it so that it doesn't get destroyed during transit. It's going to be a whole big thing. I'm actually really excited. I actually bought it probably like 7 months ago. So I've been really waiting to go on this trip to pick it up. I can't wait to pick it up. It's a really rare thing, and I'm actually glad I found it. So yeah, a Pelican case. So I'm using a Pelican case. It's a really awkwardly shaped, it's a cube basically. But yeah. Yeah. Well, Let's see here. Nope, not a sewing machine. And I mean, it's not like a really weird thing. But it's like a very rare variation. I don't want to spoil it too much, so I'm just gonna, you know, let you guys keep guessing. But it is very cool, and it'll be worth the video. That video will probably come back like a week or two after I come back from the trip. It is not small enough to take on carry-on. It has to be checked in. I mean, the DMG is pretty good even if you have big hands. It gives, you know, it's a pretty chunky device, so it gives you a lot to hold on to. It is not the Famicom Titler. It is not the Triforce Arcade. I actually did a video on the Triforce Arcade. I had one for a short while. I sold it because it was just too big, and you know. Yeah, no, get ready for the Japan series. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to try and go a little bit different than just retro game. I mean, I'm going to be doing retro game hunting, but there's going to be some other cool stuff in there that I have planned. Yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah, the GB sewing machine is like flat enough that, yeah, it could probably go in like a big check-in suitcase. But yeah, the thing I'm getting cannot fit in a suitcase, unfortunately. The suitcases are just they're too thin. They're too thin. But yeah. So I'm not going to be going. I think the Nintendo. I wanted to go to the Nintendo Museum, but I think it's like near Osaka, and I went to Osaka last year, so I'm not going to be going to Osaka this year. Yeah, kind of going. I mean, I'm going to be in Tokyo because obviously you got to fly into Tokyo. So I'm going to be in Tokyo and then a few other places. Actually, going further north. So like Hokkaido, the Hokkaido island, and some places in between. So it'll be pretty neat. You know, so I was thinking of vlogging, or not vlogging, but yeah, maybe like posting some shorts while I'm there. I might do it. I'm not, you know, I don't really do shorts too much, so I just don't know if it's like it's probably, if there's something interesting enough to put out as a short, yeah, I might do it. The one thing I was thinking of doing was maybe doing like a live stream while I'm out there, but I just don't know like how that would work, because I mean, so I'm probably going to get one of those like pocket Wi-Fi's, but I just don't know if they have enough bandwidth to handle a live stream, and I would obviously have to live stream from like my cell phone. But I thought that would have been cool to like go to like a game shop. Like there's a guy named he's like, I think like a Norwegian guy, 4 AM Laundry, who does live streams. He lives in Japan, and I've watched a few of his. They're really cool. He basically goes to, but he's got like the legit setup. And he has like really good internet. I don't know, like he has like the whole backpack, and he'll go to a bunch of different shops and start shopping like retro stuff. It's pretty cool. You should check it out. 4 AM Laundry. It's an interesting name, but yeah, he lives in Japan, and it's basically just him shopping for retro video game stuff in Japan. I'd like to do something like that, but I don't think I have this the setup for that. No, yeah, thanks, Cooper. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, safe travels for sure. Hopefully it goes off without a hitch. So, but yeah, that's coming up pretty soon. Next month, I'll be in Japan, guys. Next month. Yep. So the Archive Museum. No, are you talking about GPS? I still have all of the footage for that, and I just need to find like a good. I want to write like a really nice narrative for that, and obviously I did that. I filmed that like over probably 2 years ago now. So I do want to release that. I still have all the footage. I have the interviews, but it's just trying to find the time to actually write like a good cohesive narrative for that documentary. Yeah, that's like the hardest part. I have a ton of footage for it, so I need to just sit down, and maybe the flight over to Japan, I might have time to think about how I want that to go, and Yeah, no, actually, so yeah, I do have an eSIM. It's not gonna, it's basically I have like a pocket Wi-Fi and I have an eSIM for it. That's how I'm doing it. So basically as soon as I land, I already have my Wi-Fi device. I activate the eSIM and I have internet ready to go. Before I usually just get the pocket Wi-Fi at the airport, which is kind of a pain because you got to find the kiosk and it's a whole thing. But oh yeah, let me, what am I doing? Let me change my, there we go. Let me see if I can, the glare is really bad. Yeah, anyway, but yeah, so, yeah, no, AT&T, actually, no, I have AT&T, so, but I think international roaming is like pretty expensive. The eSIM, I paid for that eSIM, it's unlimited data for a month. I mean, I'm not going to be there for a full month, but I paid for a month. It was like $60. So it'll be, I'm going to see how that works because this is the first time I'm doing it. Usually I just buy the pocket Wi-Fi while I'm in Japan, and that's like maybe $80 and I've usually when I go to Japan, I mean, I've only been there 2 other times, but the last time I was there was for about 3 weeks, and the time before was 1 week, and this time it's also going to be about 3 weeks. So yeah, and it uses, I think, yeah, NTT Docomo. I'm pretty sure that's what the eSIM I'm using uses. So yeah. No, thank you, Psycho Fox. You rock too. Everybody rocks. Everybody on the stream rocks, and I appreciate it. So, but I think we had a successful mod here. I feel like every time I do a mod, something goes wrong, but at least we're able to overcome it, and it works. So yeah, this is like the only thing that's from the original DMG on this is the CPU. And the link port connector. Everything else is a brand new part, brand new shell, brand new screen mod, brand new motherboard. Yeah, so this is like, you know, we're able to do some really cool stuff with these, and there's some really smart people out there who make these incredible mods. So, but yeah. Oh, hey, that's a good point. Yeah, I should bring I have like that little TV receiver for the PSP, which like only works in Japan, I think maybe like Brazil or some other South American countries. I should bring that. Yeah, that's a good point, and see how that works. That could be a good short. Watching TV on my PSP from like 2000, like, you know, 4 or 2005 or whenever they released that little, that'd be really cool. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I don't have a spare Game Boy CPU or Super Game Boy CPU for this. I just had this donor DMG. Actually, I probably could have reused this switch. Oh well. But yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely see if, actually that's a good point. I need to take a note of that and see if I can bring the PSP with the TV receiver and see if I can actually watch. That would be really cool. Yeah, I might try it. Yeah, the 1 seg, that's it, the 1 seg. I think, from my understanding, it should still be working in Japan, because it was, I think some markets discontinued it, but I think Japan still has it. I think, I don't know. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, hey, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I will be going live on Thursday. I'm deciding whether I want to refurb a PS2. I got so many PS2s that need to be refurbished. Or I have a Nintendo, an AV Nintendo, those mini ones, that the guys over at the Computer Museum, who are sponsoring this stream, they actually let me have it. I'm going to refurbish it and return it to them, and maybe they'll put it in their exhibit. But again, the Computer Museum at System Source is sponsoring this stream. If any of you guys are in the DC area or the Maryland, Virginia, Northern Virginia area, here on vacation, or if you're local, definitely check him out. Link to him is in the video description if you're interested in checking out the museum. But it's a really cool place. So I think, yeah, I might actually be refurbishing that the top loading NES that I have, because it's super dirty. I'm not even sure if it works, but that'll be pretty cool, because I've actually never used a top loader NES, and it was really nice of the computer museum to donate that. So I will be giving it back, though, for them to put in their exhibit, hopefully. And I do want to mod it with oh gosh, what is it? I do have a kit from, I think it's a guy from Australia. I forget what his name is, but he made a really nice like RGB mod for Tim, for the top loader. I think it's probably also for the regular NES, but yeah. So stay tuned for that. Appreciate you guys. Also, yeah, stay tuned for the Japan stuff. That'll be really, really cool. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. And if you want to check out the shirts, got the shirts available. But yeah, no, thank you all for tuning in. And I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thursday, probably about 5 o'clock as well, is when I plan to do these. So, but yeah. All right. Appreciate you guys coming out, and I'll see you all very, very, very soon. All right. Take care.